Your grandmother boiled whites in a copper pot with a bar of sunlight soap, and they came out brighter than anything your 800-pound Samsung can produce. Nobody told her about optical brighteners or enzyme pre-soaks. She just knew. Number 17 on this list uses something you already have under your kitchen sink, and it outperforms every stain remover on the Tesco shelf. Number 9 was actually recommended by the Ministry of Health in the 1940s, but detergent companies buried it because it made their products unnecessary. And number 3 involves a technique so effective that textile scientists at Leeds University recently tested it and could not improve on it. These 30 tricks kept families in clean clothes through rationing, coal dust, and winters with no central heating. Before we start, hit subscribe, because what your nan knew about laundry would put most modern products to shame. Let us count them down. Number 30. The Monday wash day ritual. Before automatic machines, Monday was wash day across Britain. Not Tuesday, not whenever you felt like it. Monday. Your nan would start at 6 in the morning, filling the copper boiler or lighting the gas under the wash house tub. Whites went in first while the water was cleanest, then coloreds, then darks, then the filthy work clothes last. Each load used the same water, progressively dirtier but never wasted. A bar of sunlight soap cost about threepence in 1952 and lasted the whole week. The routine meant clothes were on the line by mid-morning, dry by afternoon, and ironed by Tuesday evening. That military discipline kept a family of 6 in spotless clothes on a budget that would make a modern household weep. We throw a mixed load in at 11 p.m. on a Thursday and wonder why everything comes out grey. Number 29th. Salt soak for new coloreds. When your nan bought a new cotton dress or a set of colored tea towels, she never washed them straight away. She soaked them overnight in a basin of cold water with 2 tablespoons of table salt. The sodium chloride helped fix the dye into the fabric, preventing that first wash bleed that ruins everything it touches. A bag of cooking salt cost about 2pence and lasted months. She learned this from her mother, who learned it from hers. The trick was especially important for reds and navies, which bled the worst. Modern color catcher sheets cost £3 a box and do a worse job. Your nan's salt soak meant a red sock never turned the whites pink. Not once. Not ever. Number 28. White vinegar rinse. That bottle of Sarson's malt vinegar was for chips, but the clear white vinegar under the sink was for laundry. Your nan added half a cup to the final rinse water, and it did 3 things at once. It stripped soap residue that made clothes feel stiff. It softened fabric without leaving a waxy coating. And it killed odor-causing bacteria that survived the wash. A bottle cost about 6pence in 1955 and lasted a month. No chemical softener needed, no perfumed residue that irritated children's skin, just clean, soft clothes that smelled of nothing but fresh air from the line. Comfort and Lenore spend millions convincing us we need blue liquid. Your nan knew better. Number 27. Rubbing soap on collars and cuffs. Before pre-treat sprays existed, your nan kept a block of green household soap and a stiff, bristled nail brush. She would wet the collar of your granddad's work shirt, rub the soap directly onto the grime line, and scrub with short, firm strokes. The friction and concentrated soap broke down the oils and dirt that hot water alone could not shift. That green soap, often fairy household soap at about 4pence a bar, cut through engine grease, coal dust, and the sweat rings that marked every working man's collar. She did this standing at the kitchen sink every Sunday evening, preparing shirts for the Monday boil. No spray, no soak, just elbow grease and a bar of soap that outlasted any aerosol can. Number 26. The copper boiler. Every washhouse and most kitchens had a copper, that heavy round boiler built into a brick housing with a gas burner or coal fire beneath. Your Nan filled it with water, shaved in soap flakes, and brought the lot to a rolling boil. Whites went in and were stirred with a wooden copper stick, a pole worn smooth from years of use. The boiling water sterilized everything. Nappies, bedsheets, handkerchiefs, tea towels. No bacteria survived. No stain lasted. A full boil took about 20 minutes, and the steam would fill the wash house until you could barely see the far wall. Modern machines wash at 30 or 40 degrees to save energy, but your Nan's boiled whites stayed white for years. Ours go grey after 6 months. The science is simple. Heat kills what cold cannot. Number 25. Bluing bags. Those little muslin bags of synthetic ultramarine, sold as Reckitt's Blue or Dolly Blue, were the secret weapon for brilliant whites. Your Nan would swish a bag in the final rinse water until it turned the faintest shade of blue. That tint counteracted the natural yellowing of white cotton, making sheets and shirts appear brighter than new. A single bag cost about a penny and lasted several washes. The optical trick worked because blue light cancels yellow tones to the human eye. Modern detergents add fluorescent optical brighteners that do something similar, but they coat the fabric in chemicals that can irritate sensitive skin. Your Nan's bluing bag was pure pigment in water. Nothing else. It washed out, left no residue, and made the whites on her line the envy of the street. Number 24. Starch from scratch. Forget spray cans of aerosol starch. Your Nan made her own from a tablespoon of corn flour dissolved in a pint of cold water, then brought it to the boil until it turned translucent. She dipped shirt collars, cuffs, and table napkins into the warm solution, wrung them out, and ironed them damp. The result was a crispness that lasted all day. A bag of corn flour cost about 4p and made enough starch for months. The thickness could be adjusted, thin for everyday shirts, thick for best tablecloths. That satisfying crack when you unfolded a properly starched napkin was the sound of standards. Commercial spray starch appeared in the 1960s, but it never matched the finish your Nan achieved with a saucepan and a penny's worth of corn flour. Number 23. Lemon juice for rust stains. When a rust mark appeared on a white shirt, maybe from a forgotten pin or an old clothes peg, your Nan did not panic. She cut a lemon in half, sprinkled salt on the stain, and rubbed the lemon directly onto the fabric. Then she laid it in the sun. The citric acid and salt created a mild bleaching reaction that lifted the iron oxide without damaging the cotton. A lemon cost about 2p. The stain vanished in an hour. Modern rust removers contain harsh chemical compounds and cost £4 a bottle. Your Nan used a lemon and some patience. The mark disappeared, the shirt survived, and nobody needed gloves or safety warnings. Number 22. The mangle. That terrifying cast iron mangle in the wash house was not just for squeezing water out of sheets. Your Nan fed wet clothes between the heavy rubber rollers, turning the handle until every drop of water was pressed out. Clothes came through almost flat and half dry, cutting line drying time in half. But here is the clever part. The pressure also smoothed the fabric, reducing wrinkles so much that many items barely needed ironing. A mangle cost about £3 in the 1950s, and it lasted decades. Some women mangled sheets 3 times to get them perfectly smooth. That rhythmic squeak of the rollers on a Monday morning was as much a part of British life as the factory whistle. Tumble dryers replaced mangles in the 1970s. They use electricity, shrink cotton, and create static. The mangle did none of those things. Number 21. Soaking whites overnight. Your Nan never expected hot water to do all the work. She would fill the bath or a galvanized tub with cold water, dissolve a handful of soda crystals, and leave the whites to soak overnight. By morning, the alkaline solution had loosened dirt, dissolved grease, and softened stains without any scrubbing. The actual wash the next day took half the time and half the effort. A box of soda crystals cost about sixpence in 1952 and lasted weeks. This overnight soak was so effective that sheets came out of the wash looking new even after years of use. We skip this step entirely now, expecting a 30-minute quick wash to achieve what 12 hours of soaking used to accomplish. It cannot. First pattern break. The dolly tub and posser. Before twin tubs and automatic machines, the dolly tub was the washing machine. A tall galvanized tub was filled with hot, soapy water and agitated with the posser, a wooden or copper tool with a domed head and a long handle. Your Nan would plunge the posser up and down, creating a suction that pulled water through the fabric. 15 minutes of possing replaced the scrubbing that wore fabric thin. The technique was so efficient that textiles lasted decades. Your Nan's wedding sheets were still in use when her grandchildren were born. The physical effort was considerable. Arms ached by the second load, and the kitchen floor was awash with soapy water. But the results were immaculate. When automatic machines arrived in the 1960s, the dolly tub was relegated to the garden shed. Nothing matched the thoroughness of a proper possing. Modern machines agitate gently to protect fabric. Your Nan agitated vigorously because she knew clean mattered more than gentle. Number 19. Bicarbonate of soda for odors. That tin of bicarbonate your Nan kept in the kitchen cupboard did double duty on wash day. Half a cup added to the wash water. Neutralized odors that soap alone could not shift. Sweat, smoke, cooking smells, and the musty damp of clothes dried indoors during winter. Bicarbonate did not mask them with perfume. It chemically neutralized the acids that caused the smell. A tin cost about threepence and lasted months. Your Nan would also sprinkle it directly onto mattresses and pillows, leave it for an hour, then brush it off before washing the covers. The result was bedding that smelled genuinely clean, not artificially perfumed. Modern fabric fresheners spray chemicals onto the surface. Your Nan eliminated the cause. There is a difference. Number 18. Sun bleaching. The most powerful stain remover your Nan ever used cost nothing at all. She laid wet white fabric flat on the grass or draped it over the hedge and let the sun do its work. Ultraviolet light breaks down the chemical bonds in organic stains, bleaching tea, grass, blood, and food marks without any chemicals. On a bright summer day, a badly stained tablecloth could come up white in a few hours. Your Nan knew to keep the fabric damp, re-wetting it if it dried before the stain was gone. The combination of ultraviolet light, moisture, and the oxygen released by grass created a natural bleaching environment that chlorine cannot replicate without damaging fibers. This technique dates back centuries. Medieval laundresses used it. Your Nan used it. Textile conservators at the V&A still use it today on priceless historical garments, because nothing is gentler or more effective. Number 17. Washing up liquid for grease. When your granddad came home with engine oil on his trousers, your Nan reached for the fairy liquid. A drop of washing up liquid rubbed directly into the grease stain before washing cut through oil faster than any laundry detergent. The surfactants in washing up liquid are designed to break down cooking fat, and they work just as well on mechanical grease, motor oil, and the chip fat that splattered onto aprons. A bottle cost about 1 shilling and lasted weeks. She would work the liquid in with her thumb, leave it for 5 minutes, then wash as normal. The stain lifted cleanly every time. Specialist stain removers charge £3 or £4 for a small bottle. Your Nan's fairy liquid at threepence a squirt did the same job. She never needed a different product for every type of stain. She needed one bottle and common sense. Number 16. Inside-out washing. Your Nan turned every pair of trousers, every jumper, and every printed shirt inside out before washing. This simple step protected the outer surface from the friction that causes pilling, fading, and wear. Buttons stayed on longer. Prints lasted years. The inside took the punishment, while the outside stayed presentable. This cost nothing and took seconds. Modern care labels sometimes mention it, but most people ignore it entirely. Your Nan did it with every single garment, every single wash. That is why your granddad's best shirt lasted 15 years, and your H&M top looks worn after 3 months. Number 15. Cold tea for straw hats. When Granddad's straw Panama started looking tired and yellowed, your Nan brewed a strong pot of tea, let it cool, and sponged it over the hat. The tannins restored the golden color and stiffened the straw slightly. The hat looked brand new for another summer season. A pot of tea cost virtually nothing. The alternative was buying a new hat at the outfitters for several shillings. This trick worked on wicker baskets and cane furniture too. Your Nan may not have known the chemistry, but she knew the result. A cup of cold tea and a clean cloth kept every straw hat in the house looking sharp from May to September. Number 14. Aspirin for whites. When whites went grey and the bluing bag could not save them, your Nan dissolved 2 aspirin tablets in a basin of hot water and soaked the garment for 4 hours. The salicylic acid broke down the residue buildup that caused greying without weakening the fabric. A packet of aspirin cost about 6pence from the chemist. 2 tablets per soak. The whites came out bright, and the fabric stayed strong. This trick circulated through WI meetings and church halls like gospel. Modern whitening products contain optical brighteners and chlorine bleach. Aspirin achieved the same brightness using a mild acid that did no damage. Some women swore by it for old lace curtains that had gone yellow from years of sunlight and nicotine. Number 13. Newspaper in shoes. Wet shoes were a constant problem in British winters. Your Nan stuffed them tightly with crumpled newspaper the moment anyone came through the door. The newsprint absorbed moisture from the leather and lining, pulling it away from the material before mildew could set in. She would change the paper twice, morning and evening, until the shoes were bone dry. A newspaper cost about 2pence and did triple duty. Read at breakfast, used for chip wrapping, then stuffed into wellies. The ink also had a mild antifungal effect, keeping that damp shoe smell at bay. Modern shoe trees cost £5 and do not absorb moisture. Your Nan's Daily Mirror did a better job for less than the price of a gobstopper. Number 12. Bread for picking up broken glass. When a milk bottle smashed on the kitchen floor, your Nan pressed a thick slice of white bread onto the scattered fragments. The soft crumb picked up every tiny sliver that a broom would miss, and a cloth would push into the cracks between tiles. She pressed firmly, working across the entire area, then binned the bread. No cut fingers, no shards hiding in the mop head. This saved clothes and towels from embedded glass that would have shredded them in the wash. Mothers across Britain did this without thinking, a reflex as automatic as reaching for the kettle after bad news. Second pattern break: the flat iron and the range. Before electric irons, your Nan heated flat irons on the kitchen range, keeping 2 or 3 in rotation so one was always hot while the others were in use. She would spit on the iron's surface to test the temperature. A quick sizzle meant ready. She ironed on a folded blanket laid across the kitchen table, pressing with confident strokes that smoothed linen flat as paper. The weight of the iron did half the work. No steam needed, no temperature dial, just experience and a steady hand. A flat iron cost about 2 shillings and lasted a lifetime. Your Nan could press a shirt in 4 minutes, faster than most of us manage with a modern steam iron. The skill was in knowing how long to leave the iron on the range. Too cold, wrinkles stayed. Too hot, scorch marks. She never scorched anything. That knowledge, built over decades, cannot be replicated by a thermostat. Number 10. Chalk for grease on silk. When grease splashed onto a silk blouse or a good tie, your Nan rubbed white chalk straight onto the mark and left it overnight. The chalk absorbed the oil from the fabric without any liquid touching the silk. In the morning, she brushed it off with a clean cloth, and the stain was gone. A stick of chalk cost a halfpenny from the stationer. French chalk, which was finer, cost slightly more, but worked on the most delicate fabrics. This technique saved garments that would have been ruined by water or soap. Dry cleaners charged 2 shillings to clean a silk blouse. Your Nan's chalk cost less than a farthing, and did the job without leaving the house. Number 9. Soda crystals for everything. Washing soda, sold as soda crystals, was the backbone of every wash day. Your Nan dissolved a handful in hot water before adding clothes. The alkaline solution softened hard water, boosted soap effectiveness, and cut through grease without any scrubbing. In areas with hard water, and that was most of England, soda crystals made the difference between clean clothes and clothes that still smelled after washing. A box cost about 4p in 1955 and lasted a fortnight. The Ministry of Health actively recommended soda crystals during the 1940s for sterilizing nappies and cleaning household linen. When synthetic detergents arrived in the 1950s, the crystal manufacturers could not compete with the advertising budgets. But the product never stopped working. It still costs less than £1 for a bag that lasts weeks, and it still outperforms most branded detergents on cotton and linen. Number 8. Lavender in the linen cupboard. Your Nan tied dried lavender into muslin bags and tucked them between folded sheets in the airing cupboard. The scent kept moths away from wool and linen while making everything smell clean. Lavender oil is a natural insect repellent, proven more effective against clothes moths than most chemical mothballs. A bunch of dried lavender from the garden cost nothing. Those bags lasted a full season before needing refreshing. Naphthalene mothballs, by contrast, left clothes smelling of chemicals and have since been linked to health concerns. Your Nan's lavender bags protected the clothes, scented them naturally, and harmed nothing. The airing cupboard smelled of summer all year round. Number 7. Darning socks. This was not optional in your Nan's house. When a sock developed a hole, she stretched it over a wooden darning mushroom, threaded a needle with matching wool, and wove a patch directly into the fabric. The repair was almost invisible and extended the sock's life by months. A darning mushroom cost about 6p, and a skein of wool about 3p. A new pair of socks cost 1 shilling and 6p in 1952. Darning made financial sense, but beyond money, it represented a philosophy. Clothes were not disposable. They were investments that deserved care and repair. Your Nan could darn a sock in 10 minutes while listening to the wireless. We throw socks away after 1 hole and buy 5 pairs for £3. Landfill sites are full of socks that needed 10 minutes of wool and a steady hand. Number 6. EGG white for ink stains. When the fountain pen leaked onto a school shirt, your Nan separated an egg, beat the white until frothy, and rubbed it into the ink stain. She left it for 30 minutes, then washed it as normal. The albumin proteins in egg white bonded to the ink particles and lifted them from the fabric. This worked on blue and black fountain pen ink the two colors that plagued every school uniform from the 1940s through the 1970s. An egg cost about 2 pence. The shirt was saved. Modern ink removers contain harsh solvents that can damage fabric and cost several pounds. Your Nan used egg white, the same ingredient she would later whip into meringue for pudding. Nothing wasted, everything useful. Number 5. Freezing candle wax. When candle wax dripped onto the tablecloth at Christmas, your Nan did not scrub it. She folded the cloth, put it in the freezer or left it outside on a frosty night, and waited until the wax was brittle. Then she cracked it off with the back of a knife. Any residue went between 2 sheets of brown paper under a warm iron. The wax melted into the paper, leaving the tablecloth spotless. No solvent, no rubbing, no damage. A clean removal that took patience but cost nothing. This trick worked on carpets, curtains, and clothing. The physics are simple. Frozen wax contracts and loses its grip on fibers. Your Nan understood material science long before anyone gave it a name. Number 4. Boiling dishcloths. Your Nan boiled her dishcloths and tea towels in a saucepan of water with a spoonful of soda crystals every week. 10 minutes at a rolling boil killed every bacterium, removed stains, and restored the cotton to brilliant white. The cloths came out sterilized and fresh, ready for another week of drying dishes and wiping surfaces. Modern studies confirm that kitchen cloths harbor more bacteria than toilet seats. Microbiologists have found that boiling was the only domestic method that achieved complete sterilization. Your Nan did this every week without knowing the microbiology. She just knew that a boiled cloth was a clean cloth. We put ours through a 40-degree cycle and wonder why the kitchen smells. Your Nan collected rainwater in a barrel or bucket left under the drain pipe and used it for washing. Rainwater is naturally soft, containing none of the calcium and magnesium that makes tap water hard. Soft water lathers better, rinses cleaner, and uses less soap. In hard water areas, your Nan's rainwater barrel cut soap usage in half. The clothes came out softer without any fabric conditioner. Textile scientists at Leeds University tested this exact method and confirmed that rainwater washing produces less mineral buildup on fabric fibers, extending garment life significantly. Your Nan knew this without the study. She knew the water from the sky washed better than the water from the tap. A barrel cost a few shillings. The water fell for free. Third pattern break. The airing horse. That wooden clothes horse standing in front of the fire was not furniture. It was essential equipment. Your Nan draped freshly washed clothes over the slats and positioned the horse in front of the coal fire or the range. The rising heat dried clothes in hours during winter when the washing line was useless. She rotated garments every 30 minutes, turning collars and cuffs toward the heat. The warmth also killed dust mites in bedding, a benefit nobody talked about but everyone enjoyed. A wooden airing horse cost about 5 shillings and lasted decades. It folded flat behind the door when not in use. Electric heated airers now cost £50 and add to the electricity bill. Your Nan's wooden horse used the heat that was already in the room. Number 1. The weekly routine itself. This is not a single trick. It is the principle that made every other trick on this list work. Your Nan did not do laundry when the basket overflowed. She did it on a fixed day, in a fixed order, with fixed methods. Monday wash, Tuesday iron, Wednesday mend. That simple discipline kept everything manageable. That discipline meant stains never set because they were treated within days. Clothes never piled up because they were processed weekly. Nothing wore out prematurely because it was inspected, repaired, and stored properly. Items lasted longer because they were inspected and mended in time. The routine itself was the trick. It cost nothing but consistency. It kept a family of 6 in clean, pressed, mended clothes on a budget that would not cover a single month of dry cleaning today. Try one of these this week. The vinegar rinse, the soda crystal soak, the sun bleaching. Just one. Then come back and tell me your Nan was wrong. Tell me that your 12-pound bottle of stain remover works better than a lemon and some salt. Share which trick you are going to try first in the comments. And if your Nan is still around, ask her what she used. She will remember every single one.